Hello and welcome to Paper Plays Julie K.
Welcome everyone, and thank you so much for stopping by to check out my latest video. And today I'm here continuing to work on the hashtag Little Bits of Lace 2024, hosted by Cori Dahmen here on YouTube. I do have links listed in the description box if you open that up for Cori's channel, and also links for all my past videos in this series. I do have quite a few. And basically the idea is using up little bits of lace in our journals, and I've been working on an envelope flip journal with all my lace ideas, and as you guys can see, it is getting very, very chunky. I haven't put it together. I'm gonna have to probably be done pretty soon, just because I think I've kind of exceeded my limit of being able to put this in the cover, which is, you know, right here. But there's just a couple more ideas that I'm hoping to be able to fit into the journal before I call it quits, and I wanted to share some of those with you guys. And so I'm going to open it up to this little flip right here in my journal, and I just wanted to show you guys some ideas. And so I'm going to put it right there, but I was thinking today I'd talk about using lace and like banners, pennants, garlands, those kind of things, pennants, inside of our journals. And so I'm just going to take this out. I'm just going to take the cover off here and set that aside. And so I have a couple different ideas. And so again, here's this one. And I did make this off camera just to make the video go a little bit faster, but I will tell you how I did it. I did take a crochet thread. I took some scraps of lace. A while back I got a grab bag, and it had all these little pieces in it that looked like this. They were this size, so I did cut them in half to make pieces that were this size, and it's some vintage lace. And once I had them down to this size, what I ended up doing is I just wrapped them over the crochet thread. And we're just going to make a little garland. And once I had that, you can either choose to add a little bit of glue just right in here, or what I did is I took my sewing machine and I just stitched down the edge. And so I did make this one, and I made it a little bit longer than what I thought I would need. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm not sure if I can fit all these, and I was thinking I would just kind of use it as a decoration up on the top of my page right here. And I might have to take one of them off, because I think 4 will fit nicely on here instead of the 5. I'll try to zoom in so you guys can maybe see that a little bit better. And of course, if I were just to do this on a piece of paper, I think what I would probably do is add eyelets and then tie it into the eyelets, but I don't think that's an option. So I got to come up with some other idea. And I'm just trying to see if maybe I didn't really think this through before I started recording how I was going to attach it. I just thought it'd be cute to attach a little lace garland on one of my pages. And I kind of want it free floating so that you can pick it up and you can still like journal underneath it. So maybe I just need to find a couple of small flowers in my stash to glue that down on the top corners. So I'm just going to pause the camera for a minute, and I'm going to go find a couple of, I'm going to dig through my stash real quick and see if I can find some small flowers to glue up in the corners. So I did find this in my remnant basket, and what I'm going to do is, this was part of a dangle trim. I had used the top part of it for something, and I had the dangles left, but I think I can cut the dangle parts off of this lace. And then I'll have these 2 little pieces right here left. And I think those will be perfect for attaching my little garland. So I'm just going to use a little bit of Fabri-Tac or Fabri-Fix to glue it down. And again, I have one too many, so I'm just going to pull this one off and I can use that on something else. And let's see. I think that's really cute. I really like how that looks. So I'm just going to let these strings kind of hang for a minute. I want to make sure that it fully dries before I cut anything. And I'll show you guys the next little banner or pennants that I wanted to work with in my journal while that's drying. So there are all sorts of fun little die cuts you can purchase that you can make little banners and pennants, and I just wanted to show you guys some of this different styles out there. You know, this would be a full one. This one's some individual ones. This one's diamond eyes. I think this one's Cherry Lynn. I also had these fun ones right here from Sizzix. A couple of these I don't know the companies of. Here's some Spellbinder ones, just to show you all the different styles out there. Another Spellbinders version. And these are really fun to add to journals. And so I did do a die cut of a couple of them. And I added lace. So I just wanted to show you, here's kind of a plain one that I just die cut on scrapbooking paper. This one I did glue some lace over it. So I was going to use this one along with this one for today. And I just was going to cut it off. And as far as what I used to glue my lace down, I chose to use matte medium. And I just brushed it on to the die cut. I laid my lace, I let it dry, and then I also went over it again with another layer of it and let it dry. You could also use Mod Podge, and I just choose to use the matte medium because I trust that more. Sometimes the Mod Podge, where I live, when it's humid, it kind of interacts a little bit, and so my pages will stick to it if I have something that I've glued with them. So I just trust using matte medium more, so that's why I do the matte medium instead when I'm gluing lace onto things, if I'm covering the whole bit of lace with it. And so now here is the piece of scrapbooking paper that has lace on it. I think that's really pretty. And then you can glue these together and add them into a page in your journal. And so let's go ahead, and I'm just going to see if I can find a spot. You know, you can glue them this way or this way. You can also put them sideways on a page. And I think if I leave this part up on the other side drying, I think I'll be okay. And this one I was going to put on this page, I was thinking. Possibly like that, because then you could still use it as, you could still journal if you wanted to, but you could also add a tag or a journal card underneath those. So I'm going to go ahead and glue those down. And the type of lace that I found that worked best for this is kind of just like the lace that you kind of buy by the yard, or kind of the thinner type lace like this. A lace like this would work good also for gluing onto paper. And I could just double decorate and add that on top. I kind of like it staggered though, so I'm going to stagger it. Sometimes I add a third one, sometimes I just leave it with two, so I'm just going to leave it with those two today. Just going to add a little clip up there to hold it in place. So let's check on, see how this one is doing. That's doing pretty good. I think that's pretty well glued down, so I'm going to go ahead and just cut off the strings. I think if you wanted to on certain pages, it would look cute leaving the strings on. So yeah, I do like that look of that one. I think that's really cute for an idea for using up little bits of lace. So I'm going to put that one back down in my journal. And let's find, I had a couple more spots for a couple more banners in here. So on one of my journal pages, I did choose one of those Sizzix ones and I die cut it out, and I did the exact same thing, but this time I glued the lace on the back of the die cut. And again, I used the matte medium for that. And I first of all put matte medium on the scrapbooking paper, then I laid the lace, I let it dry, and then I went over it again with matte medium. And then also make sure when you're letting stuff dry like this that has the openings or the holes in it for the windows, that you have it on some sort of non-stick. I use my Ranger non-stick sheet so that I would be able to pull it up once it was dry. And so on this one, again, I'm just going to just glue it up on the top. You could do on the side again if you wanted to, or maybe, I think I'll do this one actually in the middle. I like that. And again, you could add a journal card underneath it, but there's still spots to journal on the page if you want it. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this one down. So I think that's really cute. I like that one. I've never actually used this die, this cutting die, until now. It was something I think I picked up at a rummage sale and just hadn't used before. So that's really cute. I like that one. Let me find a clip. So we'll go ahead and clip that so that it stays. And then let's find, I had one more spot. So this one, I had another little idea for a garland, and I saw this on Pinterest. And somebody had taken like a string and they attached pieces going down. And so what I thought I could do that, I think they had hearts. And so what I did is I die cut out using a Martha Stewart butterfly punch. I punched out some scraps of butterflies. I did go ahead and glue them using that matte medium onto the lace. So I still have a couple of these to cut out. But I just wanted to show you what they look like when they were, you know, they don't look like much, but there is lace on them. So that's a great way to use up little bits of lace, and it kind of actually adds a little bit of a texture to the butterflies, and it also makes them very sturdy. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these butterflies out of the lace, the last two that I have left here. You could do this with any shape, like a heart, stars, flowers. The possibilities are kind of endless. You can also kind of do like what we did on that first banner or garland too, where you just wrapped a piece of lace over the string. This is kind of the same idea, I guess, that I have here. And I'll show you guys here in a minute what this one's going to look like. So I'm just going to pull, I did some that had the lace on them, and I just did some with normal paper punching. So I'm just going to pull out the ones that had the lace on it. And so again, what I was thinking is I wanted the string to go down kind of the long way on my page. And you could add, let's add an eyelet up here to tie this down up at the top. But you could also use a flower like we did on the other ones, or some other type of lace, or maybe a cluster if you wanted to use that to hold it down. I'm trying to decide if that's what I want to do. Or like I said, I could use the eyelet. I think I'm just going to use the flower. So I'm going to take my string, which again, it's just crochet thread. I'm going to again use a little bit of it as an overhang. And I'm going to glue this down up in the corner. or wherever you want. And then I was thinking is you glue your butterflies or whatever you choose, and you can kind of put how many ever you want on the string. And again, it kind of just looks like 4 are going to fit on here. So I think that looks kind of nice. And then I was going to use these other pieces as the backers underneath them. And I could have put lace on these ones too if I wanted to, but I just wanted the top ones. So again, I have scrapbooking paper with the butterfly and glue on it. And very carefully, I'm also going to put glue on this lace butterfly. I'm going to put that right on top. It's kind of cute. So I'm going to continue to do the same thing for the other butterflies. I've never done this before. Like I said, I saw it on Pinterest, and I don't know who the original person was that has done this before, but it's a great idea, really cute idea. I think they called it like a paper garland or something like that, might have been what their terminology was. So again, thank you to whoever was the original person that had this idea. Again, I do apologize. I don't know who you are, but I do love the idea. And again, the one that I saw didn't have the lace on it. I think it was just hearts. It was somebody that had hearts. And again, I don't know if that was the original person or if it was just somebody, you know, reusing somebody else's idea. But I do love that idea, and I thought it'd be really cute to add the lace then on top of whatever cutout you're doing, whether it's a heart or the butterflies. I just was in the mood today for butterflies. Or actually the other day. It took me a couple of days to let the glue dry, because like I said, when I did the lace, I had to add the lace on the butterflies, and that took a day, two different days, because I did it 24 hours apart of the glue, just to make sure that the lace was good and strong on the butterflies. So I'll hold that up so you guys can kind of check out what that looks like. Isn't that cute? So now you can make a decision, I think, if you just want it free floating. But if you're going to do that, you maybe would have chosen to do it somewhere else. Or I think I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a flower down here just to kind of hold it in place. And I'm debating whether or not to glue them on, so then they're stuck where they are. Or if you don't do that, I suppose you could use it as a tuck spot. I think I'm going to glue them down, because I kind of like the idea of just leaving them in place versus letting them be free floating. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue them down before I glue this part of it. I'm going to glue them where I want them. I just kind of like that, I guess, for today. Because I know I'm not going to, this is just a idea journal, and I don't have to use it for anything other than that. So I'm okay with gluing them down today. That is so cute. I really like that idea. That's very cute. Like I said, if you don't glue them down, it kind of also would make it as kind of an interactive element in your journal if you wanted. And then just to kind of finish it off, I am going to glue down this flower. So there is what it looks like. Isn't that cute? I love that idea of using it, little bits of lace on the butterflies and making them into a garland or a banner. Also using them on pennants or flags in our journals, page flags. So hopefully today I was able to give you guys a couple more ideas on how to use up little bits of lace in our journals. Thank you again so much for watching. And again, I do have all of those links that I talked about earlier listed below in the description box. Until next time, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day and happy crafting.